Michael Jackson, the King of Pop, reigns over the December cover of Ebony magazine, ending 2007 with a thriller that's out of this world.
Michael's an icon for the universe. His music, many of us have grown up on. The very first time I danced with the boy was the ABC. So now I get to be with Michael here for Ebony magazine.
In celebration of the 25th anniversary of Michael Jackson's album Thriller, one of the greatest albums of all time, selling an astounding 104 million copies worldwide, Ebony shut down the Brooklyn Museum and turned the Beaux Arts Court Ballroom into a backdrop fit for the King of Pop.
It's the hottest selling album in all of the world, and it transformed music. It transformed the music industry. It transformed music videos.
With Thriller pumping in the background, Michael Jackson and famed photographer Matthew Ralston, under the creative direction of Ebony's Harriet Cole, quickly began making beautiful music together.
And given our time issues, we can get all that in
Try stuff. It's only Michael's here.
Stylist to the stars Philip Block left no racks unturned, and Michael's penultimate style shined as brilliantly as ever, with the legendary megastar adding his own personal fashion flair to each outfit.
In 6 months, everyone's gonna have their cup tucked in their boots.
With one final click of the camera, Thriller, the album that changed music forever, and Michael Jackson, its megastar musical genius, added yet another page to the history books in the December issue of Ebony magazine.
You saw it here first. Ebony, first.
Rod Temperton came in the studio and he came with this killer. It's this little German guy from Worms, Germany. This little white guy from Worms, Germany comes with this and this whole melody and the chorus, rock with you. Wow. So when I heard that, I said, okay, I have to really work now. So I first thing I presented was Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and that's the one I wrote Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, and I think it was, how many did I do? I think I did 3 or 4 on Off the Wall. I'll think of them in a second. So every time Rod would present something, I would present something, and we formed a kind of friendly competition. But I love working like that because I used to read about how Walt Disney used to, if they were working on Bambi or any animated show, they'd put a deer in the middle of the floor and make the animators kind of compete on different styles of drawing the deer. So whoever had the most stylized effect that Walt liked, and he would pick that, and they would kind of compete. It was like a friendly thing, but it was competition because it breeds higher effort. So whenever Rod would bring something, I would bring something. He would bring something, I would bring something else. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Jackson, and rather than writing you a letter, I have found this format to be most efficient for what I wish to communicate. I hope you can share my view. Allow me to introduce to you my German-Canadian partners. Dieter Wiesner from Germany, Ronald Knitzer from Canada, and myself have entered into an agreement, an exclusive long-term partnership. We will operate through a number of companies that we will mutually own. I have agreed to a strategic plan for the next 10 years that will encompass many high-caliber entertainment projects, but also philanthropic activities. I would like you to understand that Mr. Wiesner and Mr. Knitzer are overseeing all my business matters, and there is nobody else involved on this level. We meet on frequent basis, discuss our business affairs, and decide together. Mr. Wiesner and Mr. Knitzer therefore have my full approval to negotiate on my behalf and on behalf of mutually owned companies. Depending on my schedule, I will personally sign agreements or legally authorize my partners to sign on my behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that our mutual understandings will be fruitful, and I wish you all the best of luck. And may God bless our work. Thank you very much.
Dieter first met Jackson by chance, pitching him an isotonic drink to endorse. Mystery, kind of Jacko Red Bull. It never went into production.
Power from the king of pop. Fresh, cool, Mystery Isotonic Drink and Mystery Collector Magazine. Get it now.
And like Mrs. Sharpton was saying, people from James Brown to Sammy Davis Jr., some of the real pioneers that that inspired me to be the entertainer that I am. These artists are always on tour because if they stopped touring, they would totally go broken. And it's been, the record companies really, really do conspire against their artists. They steal, they cheat, they do whatever they can, especially the black artists. The minute I started breaking the all-time record in record sales, I broke Elvis's records, I broke Beatles' records. The minute it became the all-time best-selling albums in history in the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight they called me a freak, they called me a homosexual, they called me a child molester. They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me. This was all complete conspiracy. You have to know that. It seems as if to me, I really believe it's a conspiracy because the story always ends the same. We pioneer, we innovate, you know. At the end of the story, you know, it's lovely, thank you. It's happened on purpose. So we have to put an end to it forever.
Do any of the mothers live with you now?
Live with me now?
Yeah.
No.
And is that difficult for you and the children?
No, no. Why would it be difficult?
What would you just say to somebody who says that's a bit strange? That none of your
People
children have their mother?
People always have a judgment about anything you do, so it doesn't bother me. Everything can be strange to someone. This interview is strange to some people out there, so who cares, right?
Sometimes people go too far. Sometimes, if they've got a lot of money and they have an opportunity, sometimes they can think, oh, I'll do things, especially given your childhood. I mean, while we've talked, I've begun to understand how difficult that was for you, how unhappy you were as a child.
Yeah.
As an adolescent, how unhappy you were about your appearance. You told me in Neverland that your father used to insult you. You told me in Las Vegas your father used to talk about your nose.
Yeah.
So I can understand why you wanted to change your appearance.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want.
Just that, though, not the whole face, just the nose. They try to say, why do you keep changing it? It's not true.
He asked you to come into the court. So what happened there?
He told me to get rid of everybody.
So he was asking to get rid of basically people who'd been the old entourage.
Exactly.